A missing mother. 2 little girls vanish without a trace. A husband's calm demeanor hides something sinister. Cut to security footage. Police interrogations. Heartbeat sound intensifies. He said they went to a friend's house. But what really happened? Inside the Watts family home. Black screen. One word fades in slowly. Why? It was just after 1:48 a.m. on August 13, 2018, when Shanann Watts, 34 years old and 15 weeks pregnant, returned home from a business trip. Security footage shows her walking up the driveway, unaware it would be the last time anyone would ever see her alive. That morning, Shanann's friend Nicole tried calling. No response. No answer at the door. No social media posts. Shanann had seemingly vanished. Worried, Nicole called the police. A welfare check was issued. Chris Watts, Shanann's husband, answered calmly. He said she must have left with the kids, maybe to clear her head. But inside that suburban home in Frederick, Colorado, something felt off. Very off. To outsiders, the Watts family was the American dream. Shanann was a vibrant woman, social, hardworking, always posting cheerful videos about her family. Chris was quiet, reserved, but appeared deeply devoted to his wife and daughters, Bella and Celeste. Their home was large and tidy. Their daughters were beautiful. Their social media overflowed with love and laughter. But behind the Instagram filters, the picture was cracking. Shanann was the breadwinner. Chris was withdrawn. Financial troubles were piling up. And there was something else, something Shanann didn't know. Chris was having an affair. Chris met Nicole Kessinger, a co-worker, in early summer 2018. What started as casual flirting turned into secret dates, intimate texts, and declarations of a future together. To Nicole, Chris said he was separated, that the marriage was over. He lied. In reality, Shanann was pregnant with their third child, a boy they planned to name Nico. As his double life intensified, Chris began to distance himself. He stopped touching Shanann. He became colder, more robotic. Nicole wanted a clean start. Chris began to think about what that meant. In his twisted logic, only one thing stood in the way. When Shanann and the girls were reported missing, Chris gave multiple interviews. He stood on his porch, pleading. If you're out there, just come back. The house isn't the same without you. But his words lacked emotion. His face lacked urgency. Bodycam footage from that day shows Chris acting oddly, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, and over-explaining small things. He seemed off. Inside the house, the police noted Shanann's car in the garage, her purse, her phone. No signs of forced entry, no blood, no clues, just a father acting way too calm. 2 days later, Chris agreed to a polygraph test. Before the test even began, the administrator told him, "Chris, this will not end well for you." She was right. He failed. Hard. When confronted, he asked to speak alone with his father. And in that quiet room, Chris broke, but not entirely. He claimed Shanann killed the girls and that in a rage he killed her. A lie within a confession. A cover for a much darker truth. Days later, under further interrogation, Chris Watts told the whole horrifying story. He strangled Shanann in their bed while she pleaded for her life. Then, with his daughters still alive, he wrapped Shanann's body in a sheet and loaded it into his truck. Bella and Celeste climbed into the vehicle, unaware their mother was in the back, dead. He drove 45 minutes to an oil site owned by his employer. There, he smothered Celeste with a blanket, then Bella. Before she died, Bella asked, "Is the same thing going to happen to me as Cece?" Those were her last words. Chris stuffed their tiny bodies into oil tanks, He buried Shanann in a shallow grave nearby. Then he went to work, as if nothing happened. The confession rocked the world. Chris Watts was arrested and charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder. In court, he looked like a ghost, drained, expressionless. He pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Nicole Kessinger vanished from public life. And Shanann's family, devastated, broken, asked only that people remember the victims, not the killer. How does a father murder his entire family? Experts believe Chris Watts was a classic example of narcissistic rage. He wanted a new life, but didn't want the shame, the responsibility, or the image of being the bad guy. So instead of divorce, he chose annihilation. Psychopath? Sociopath? Maybe. But most chillingly, he was ordinary. He was one of us. Today, investigators and YouTubers continue dissecting the case, frame by frame, from police body cams to doorbell footage. Every detail matters. The neighbor who sensed something was wrong. The dog that didn't bark. Chris glancing nervously at the TV screen when police played security footage. Some believe Shanann and suspected the affair. Some say Chris had planned the murders for days. Others say it was spontaneous. But what's undeniable is the coldness in his actions. No remorse, no hesitation, just removal. The Watts case became a true crime sensation. Documentaries, podcasts, Reddit threads, conspiracy theories, Netflix's American Murder. The Family Next Door brought the case to a global audience. People couldn't look away. Not just because of the horror, but because of how normal it all seemed. Quiet home, a nice neighborhood, smiling faces, and then total annihilation. Chris Watts destroyed an entire family in a single night. He erased a pregnant wife, 2 daughters who adored him, and a future unborn son. For what? A new life? A new woman? Whatever the motive, it will never be enough. Because in the end, the world remembers the victims.